Hello, everybody. This is Linda Davitas, owner and founder of healingsOnTheGo.com. I am the host of Healings on the Go with Linda Davitas, psychic clairvoyant medium, certified healer, Reiki healer, dolphin healer, crystal healer, magnified healer, dolphin healer, professional space clearer, and a whole lot more. To find me, you could go to healingsonthego.com. I would like to welcome my special guest and my good friend, Kendell Bell, to the show. Welcome, Kendell.
Thank you for having me. Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure.
Nice to see you on, as always.
Yes, I love coming back here, rocking with the crew, spreading that 528. Thank you again for having me.
My pleasure. Today's a crazy day, as you know, and we're going to talk about psychic attacks. A lot
Hmm.
of people would like to know, what are they? What are psychic attacks? So I'll let you fill it in, and then I'll go to my perspective.
My perspective of psychic attacks, honestly, they come in the form of thoughts. They come a lot of the times they come from people that we know, people that we come across who have ill thoughts towards us and don't realize that our thoughts create our reality. And when we project these things onto another person with negativity, they create a momentum. They create the static momentum that affects us in a negative way if we're not protecting ourselves. Um, you start to lose things will start to break around you. Like sometimes they attack you in your dreams.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of the times they come when they're worse when people are in groups speaking ill on your name, because again, words cast
Yes,
spells. We don't realize
that's
how
right.
magical we are as
Mhm.
beings, and we cast spells on others. But the worst part about that is we cast them on ourselves as well, because we're all reflections of one another. It's the truth, and this. It's like
Yeah, it's
we,
true.
we
It's true.
really don't understand when we're speaking ill on others, and we're doing these things. We are casting spells and we're creating black magic without understanding what we're doing, because a lot of us have forgotten who we are, as a
Exactly.
collective. We're magical beings. We can have good spells or we can have bad spells. But these psychic
Exactly.
attacks, they normally come from projections from others. And some people will use, divinations and things like that, but again, a lot of the times they come from other people and their projections and their energy towards us.
Exactly. And to me, psychic attacks it is negative energy, whether it is on the conscious or unconscious level. It's mostly from people that you know, your own family members, your friends. And some people don't even realize when they're actually giving jealousy, envious thoughts, on you, anger, emotions. They could just do it, not even like this lady I know, for example. She's my mother's best friend, and she's like, she doesn't mean to, but whenever she sees somebody, she gives them a migraine. And I'm like, that's not good.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
And she's probably a powerful being and doesn't
Mhm.
realize, her power. And
Yeah.
that's the most important thing, that I want to get across, when it comes to psychic attacks, is we all do it and we
Hmm.
don't realize it. You know what I mean? So like me personally, for every bad thought that I have, I try to counteract it, with five good thoughts. Because we all slip up. We're having this human experience. It's natural. But once you're
Hmm.
aware of it, that's when you're like, oh, okay, well, I don't want to hurt anybody. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I don't want to hurt anybody, but I also don't want to hurt myself. I also don't want to hurt my children, because a lot of times we can pass these things down to our kids and we don't
Hmm.
even realize it, because just the way that
Yeah,
energy work, it doesn't have barriers. Once you open up that portal, it's just going to start attaching to anything that's connected to you.
exactly. Welcome, and thank you,
Hey,
everybody,
and
for tuning in. Please like and share. Go ahead, Kendall. She says hi to you too.
hey, and
I
yeah,
also wanted to say about psychic attacks. They compare it to black magic, witchcraft, spell casting, which, yes, that is another form, but it's not only the only way to do it. You know what I mean?
well, everything that is of our divine power is labeled as black magic. But that we know where that comes from. We know why it was. We know why the witches were killed, because
Exactly.
it's the truth. It's who we are. We were born this way, and the witches were here teaching us about our power and waking people up to who they are. And that's all that. That's where that comes from. But yeah, but most importantly, what we need to understand mostly is a lot of the times we're walking out here and we're not protecting ourselves. We're not surrounding ourselves with light. We're not clearing out the space in our homes. We're holding on to thoughts from things that people did to us, and we're allowing that portal to attack us. Like we're opening it up because we don't realize that we have to counter it with love. We have to be the ones to stop it. We have to cut those cords and cut those ties and send them back to their sender, and we have to shield them with our love, because our love is the only thing that conquers these things, and it's the love that we have for ourselves. That's our personal power, and that's how we combat it. We can't combat hate with hate. That's like trying to put out a fire with fire.
Right. That's true. And they asked me, why would they do that? And I said, because these attackers are usually very jealous, very envious. They are, just envious of your life, of your career, of your partner. It could be many different ways. And then again, some people think that, they don't even realize what they're doing. So that's another thing.
This is true. This is very true. This is the reason why now me in my present day, I don't have a lot of friends anymore. And there's people that I love dearly and I consider more than friends, family. But right now, where I'm at is I'm very protective of my energy right now, um, because I understand the power of our minds and the power of our thoughts. And when we're surrounding ourselves with people, places, things that don't even know are attacking us, that are draining our energies, where it's basically self-inflicted. And it's
Mhm.
okay. It took me a long time to realize that it's okay for me to protect myself from people who aren't aware of who they are. And it's okay for everybody
Exactly.
to do so. And you don't have to, it doesn't matter if it's your mother. It's crazy. My mom, she's right behind me. I love her,
Yeah.
to death, but she taught me so much through her trauma and her pain on my
Mhm.
boundaries. And it took for me to not speak to my mom for a whole entire year for her to realize her effect that she had on me when we finally had our talks. And I told her how much, I love you so much, and you don't realize how much power you have over me, that when you speak certain things and you say certain things, the way that they affect my being, and we were able to heal these things before she passed away. Thank God. Like
That's
now,
good.
the portal between me and my mom is all love and it's guidance. But again, we have to become aware of what's really going on around us and our own personal power.
Exactly. And people that usually give bad energy is because they're on a lower vibration themselves. And how
Yes.
do they do it? Is because, for example, that lady that gives people migraines, she's unconsciously connecting a cord from her to you, and it's a negative thing. So I have so many times witnessed and experienced, like, I will not look at everyone in the eye, and there's many reasons for that, because there was one time I would always do that. My dad, he was a big believer in the evil eye. He used to know how to cast it out. And if there's something negative, right away, it hurts my eyes. I can't even look at them. I had this lady one time, I went to a barbecue and she was looking at me. And when I looked at her, I was like, oh my God, I just couldn't look at her because the energy was painful. And so
Mm.
I'm very particular who I really look in the eyes, or I could look around your face, but I'm not going to stare at someone that I feel has negative energy, because right away I can sense it right away. And usually when it's affiliated with the eyes, those migraines take 3 days to fully leave you, believe it or not, unless someone takes it off you. Like my dad used to, he would do a prayer. 3 days you will suffer with that bad eye. And it's funny because it does happen. So I don't know if you ever experienced it, Kendell,
Yes,
but those
I have.
eyes are something.
I have. And you just further explained it to me, because there are certain people where I have a hard time looking into their eyes. And me as an empath, I feel everything,
Yes.
everything tremendously. And I never heard that explanation or that perspective. It makes a lot of sense, because there are certain people where I can't look them in their eyes. I'll look at them and they probably think that like, I'm not confident or whatever it is. It's not
Right.
that. It's just I feel like I'm taking on their energy and they don't realize that like I can
Yes.
feel what they don't say.
Yeah,
I can
exactly.
feel the things that they're hiding inside of them that they haven't dealt with. And another thing with me too is I realize when I'm not in a good spot, when I'm not vibrating high, or if I'm not in the right mind state, I don't want to be near people.
Right.
I don't go near people. I won't look at, I'll stay to myself because I understand my power and what I do to others when I'm around them. And I'll either walk in a room and if you don't have to know me, I'll either uplift that room or I'll destroy that room with my energy. So
Exactly.
and it's real. And then I leave that effect on that whole entire area and everybody inside of that. And then I go home and I feel bad about it. Because again, as empaths, you feel everything. But I just feel like the awareness of our power and the power of others and how they affect us is very important now in this day and age, going forward into this new world where everybody's so open right now, like just opening up your phone and seeing something on your phone from a negative person, from negative energy, that affects us. And then
Yes,
we go home and then we have these projections inside of us, then we go and dream about them and then we're being attacked in our dreams. There's so many different ways
exactly.
for us to be psychically attacked that we don't understand.
Hmm. And a big hello to Allison is on. She says hello, Linda and Kendell. Hello, Helen. Hello, Mickey. Thank you
My
so
tribe,
much
my
for
tribe, my
joining us.
tribe. Love you guys.
Please like and share. Greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much. And that's what I did want to talk about, having nightmares, because a lot of people said, oh, I wish heaven had visitation rights. And it sure does, because when you dream is when the spirits do come and visit. So likewise, when you're sleeping, what happens is our defense is down because we're not aware of things like when we're awake. So what happens is they do, like you said, come in our nightmares. And especially when they're unpleasant nightmares, or you feel like you're being attacked, or I've woken up with scratches on me. So there's a lot of reasons that they come in the dream state because our vulnerability is down and they just creep up and they figure they'd attack us. So
Yeah,
that is a big one.
yeah, yeah. Protecting ourselves is very important. It's very important, and teaching this to our kids is important as well, and teaching them the power of their thoughts
Yes,
at an early age when they're more powerful than us. Because they really are. They still have the power of imagination. So
exactly.
that's the ultimate power. So we could teach them this
Exactly.
at an early age. We're setting them forward, 20, 30 years in human years.
Exactly. And I wrote a whole book about my journey. So whoever that doesn't know about it, remembering my pre-existence, my journey from darkness to the light. And you can find it on my site, healingsOnTheGo.com, which talks about my crazy adventure and how they would attack me. And they do speak. So people think that spirits could, physically beat you up. Sure, they can scratch, but the worst part is when they attack your mental. And
Yeah,
that's what I want to talk about next is they will go into your mind and make you feel totally worthless, very depressed, to the point you're suicidal. And I've
hmm
had that happen to me. And I'm like, I was going through one time a very dark period. And I'm like, why am I here for? Just to help people? Like, they'll make you feel that way. So that way, why do you think always on the news they talk about people that have committed suicide? 99.9% of the time, it's spirit you know, that comes and talks through them because misery loves company. There are a lot of earthbound spirits that haven't found their way home and have killed themselves, and they want you to join them too, or me, or.
yes, this is true. It is very true, and I battled this myself. And it takes a lot of self-reflection and a lot of strength for one to come out of this mindset and realize what it's coming from, and realize that you know these thoughts are not yours. Not all thoughts are yours. They're not.
Exactly,
A lot of the
exactly.
times, the thoughts that are coming in that don't resonate with who we are, they're coming from others, and you're just getting it. You're a channel now.
That's right.
You're a beacon for all of these thoughts, and it's very important that we protect ourselves. Like me, I come in, I sage my house, I protect my home, protect my car, and when I don't, I start to feel it. That's when I'm letting it in. And I can feel it. I'm like, I know, no, I gotta go clean. I gotta distract myself. I gotta put on vibrations. I gotta clear out my space. I do certain things. I gotta write good things about myself. I gotta say good things about myself. I have to look in the mirror to really, you know, get in tune with my own power and speak words of power, speak words of protection, because I'm the one in control. I'm the one that's opening up these portals for other people to attack me. They can try all they want, but they only succeed when we let them.
That's
When we
right.
let
That's
them.
right.
And the only way to stop them is to become aware of our personal power and stop doubting the things that we were born with. We were born with these things. This world made us forget who we are. And that's why it's
Mhm.
so easy for us to be trapped in this illusion of what we think we're supposed to be. No, we are who we were when we were children. That's who we're supposed to be. That's who we are. The way that we thought, the way that we
Exactly.
were, our hearts, and the way our minds worked when we were children. And we believed in all these things, right?
Exactly. That's right. We're going to take a very quick commercial break and we'll be right back right after these messages. Stay tuned, everybody. Hi, I am Linda Davitas. I am a psychic, clairvoyant medium, and certified healer. I have also written a book, My Journey from Darkness to the Light, which is available on Amazon, Barnes & Nobles, and on my website, www.healingsOnTheGo.com. If you would like to book an appointment with me, call me at 917-929-4935. Thank you. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back with my special guest, Kendell Bell. Yay! So we were talking about psychic attacks, and these are some other symptoms that you can be aware of. If you're feeling these kind of symptoms, it is definitely a sign of a psychic attack. Also, feeling very depleted. Sometimes you will have a nap or you will sleep good, but no matter how much you sleep, you still feel drained. And why is that? Because the spirit is attaching itself to your energy. It's just depleting you. And that's another reason that you can get psychic attack. Also feeling body pain, any kind of pain in your body. And then you go into the doctors and they're like, well, there's nothing wrong with you. So that's another a reason psychic attack, because sometimes us as sensitives, we will pick up on someone's spirit, like if they had some kind of pain, then we feel it like our own. Then you go to the doctor, you have nothing wrong with you. So that's definitely another sign of psychic attack.
Hmm.
Have you ever had it, Kendell, when you feel very weak and drained and depleted?
Yes, I recently just went through this, and that's when I knew I wasn't on my schedule. I was, just too involved in this human world and just running on, autopilot, that I
Right.
wasn't doing what I was supposed to be doing for myself. And I
Mhm.
was hearing the thoughts of others and I was feeling what was going on. I can feel people's hate towards me, and not hate towards me, hate towards themselves,
Right.
and envy. And I knew exactly where it was coming from. I knew exactly where it was coming from. And I got on my path. I started cleaning my house. I started doing all the things that I know that I needed to do. I started praying to my God. And what do you know? Right then and there, I shut it down. I wouldn't have been able to do this show had I not done that.
Wow.
So it's good
Wow.
that we're talking about this, and I experienced it before, because I am my book. I speak from
Yes.
experience. All the things that I speak
Yes.
to you guys about, I've experienced it and I lived. I could never talk to you guys from anything that I've read out of a book that I haven't experienced. A lot of the times it's the
Exactly.
books that help better explain what I felt and what I've already gone through. You know what I mean? To give me a heightened perspective of the
Yes.
situation or the experience. But it's
And
always
it's
good to hear
true.
your perspective and what you have to say, because you word things that I could never explain. It's just I knew it was there.
Thanks.
I didn't word it the way that you did. But thank you.
No worries. It's the same. But yeah, it's true. I was going to say that there's just so like another thing when you feel fogged up in your head, like you're thinking of something. I felt that a couple of days ago, and I'm like, I felt so out of it. So I know that I'm around, like both of us, we're always around some kind of energy. And I
Mhm.
usually feel it like over my head, like I feel like tingly. I don't know if you get the same thing, because some people have different sensitive points. They feel it on their arm, their legs. I feel it sometimes like someone's touching my hair, or goosebumps on my head. Like
Mm.
now,
Yeah,
someone's
I
visiting.
feel it in my mind. I feel it up here, and sometimes my brain will feel like it's loose. Like it's a
Yes,
weird feeling. Like, but every time I go to move, my brain it just feels loose and it's foggy. I can't concentrate. It's a whole bunch of things
yeah,
that come through on me. But again, it always comes down to me and what I'm doing, because that's when I'm
yes,
worried too much about what's going on the outside, not focused on the inside. So it's very important for us to always tune into ourselves and know what's going on around us.
yeah,
The people that we surround ourselves with is the most important thing. If you hurt people in the past, you got to make peace with them. And
right.
if you can't say it to their face, you got to do it within yourself. You got to forgive yourself. You got to forgive them. I a lot of the times, honestly, when I first started going through my spiritual awakening, I went through this period where like I cried for like a week. And then I thought about all the people that I've hurt in my life. I started calling people up,
Yeah,
messaging them, saying sorry to them, and they weren't even having a problem with me still. But I went back on everything, and I was
that's
just
good.
clearing the
Releasing.
energy and clearing the air. And the ones that I didn't get to speak to, the ones that are still bitter with me, I had to forgive myself in silence, and I had to say sorry to them in silence, because I know how energy works, and I had to seal that portal because it was attached
Yes,
to me. So
yes,
now whenever I go to look at that experience, I'm not attached to the traumatic part of the experience. I'm attached to the healing part of the experience. And now I look at it from a different sense of light. Um, but yeah, it's very important that we understand this. Like, we have to go back and we got to clear our own energy, because a lot of times we are creating our own psychic attacks, if you really want to think about it.
yeah.
You
If you're
know,
on a lower vibration, will you do? Yeah, because then you become on the same wavelength as them, and then
yes,
you attract it. That's true. Have you ever
that's
noticed when you're like ready to do something spiritual? Like, for example, my mother sometimes she's like, oh, I'm gonna go to church, and then like hers is church, but to me it's like doing something spiritual. Then all of a sudden you feel like you don't have something will stop you, and that's another form of spirit attacks, because dark energy doesn't like the light, so they will just kind of confuse you, make you forget about things. And I don't mean to scare people, but it's good to know the symptoms, so that way you can work on it, on uplifting your energy, so that way you can get out of it.
yeah. Distracting yourself is like the main
Exactly.
ingredient. You have to really distract yourself, but you got to distract yourself with things that are positive. Even just going to exercise. You
Mhm.
start getting drifting off, go for a run, do some push-ups, do some jumping jacks. Got to distract yourself, and you got to take back your power and your energy. These are all the things that have
Exactly.
helped me. Um, when I'm not doing these things, and I get lost in the abyss. And then, like you said, when we lower our vibration, that's when we can open up the playing fields. You're not going to sit here and you're not going to play in the mud when you're up here. You can't,
Exactly.
it doesn't affect you when you're up here, when you're flying over it. But once you get down here into that level, that's when you're going to be attacked by it. And it's harder
Exactly.
to see the higher perspective when you're in the crowd. You can't see it.
Exactly. A big hello to Cindy. Hi, Cindy. She
Hey,
says hello
Cindy.
to you too. Thank you for
Hey.
joining. Everybody, please like and share. Thank you so much for tuning in. Another symptom is, as we said, nightmares, physical pains, and without no medical diagnosis, that's definitely a sign of something coming through you. Like there would be an earthbound spirit that maybe his legs were hurting him in life. Then you'll feel your legs, you go to a doctor, there's nothing wrong with you.
Yes.
That happens all the time because we feel it like our own feeling. So we think
Hmm.
it's us, and that's what happens. Some people hear voices, sounds, seeing shadows. That's another form. I mean, they're different. If you feel it's spooky and dark, that's a different kind of energy than the light. So just being aware of this, some people feel chills, other people feel like they're being watched. So I believe, like I felt in a channeling, that every house has a spirit. It depends if it's welcomed or not. So depending on the energy of the house, is it going to stay or it's going to go? And another thing I found out is do not put welcome mats at your door because I never knew that. I used to put it on my door because I thought it's good luck. But my teacher, my Reiki teacher, she's like, no, no, it's like the Ouija board. If you put welcome mats at your door, what do you think it's going to happen? Any spirit's going to come in. I was like, oh, really? So I threw all of them out. But
I didn't know
it's
that.
funny. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Welcome. Anything with the word welcome is not a good thing because you said that any spirit will come in because it feels like you're welcoming it.
And not all spirits are welcome.
Exactly. And
Luckily
also,
I got my mom and my grandma, man. They fight battles that I don't ever get to see. This is amazing.
exactly. Also, feeling out of character. Like we're happy, happy people. And some people, like, that's why they say when you get drunk, what do you think happens? Well, but for the rest of us, things enter your body. You act out of character because things come through you.
Hmm.
Your defense is down. So
Hmm.
I had a friend of mine that she was as gentle as like so sweet and soft, and then she became violent, started hitting people. I was like, what the heck? So
Yeah.
as I
That's why
got
they call it
older,
spirits in the bottles, dark spirits. That's why they call wine spirits. Oh, ghoul.
yeah,
That's because we're literally letting in dark spirits. We're vibrating at a low enough frequency to let these spirits in.
yeah,
I can't
and
drink,
you're
Linda.
channeling.
I can't drink. I can't, and I realized that recently. I tried to have a drink,
Oh no,
and
I can't either.
I can't do it anymore. I went so long without drinking that, and when I did, I felt like crap for like 4 days, and I only had one drink. It was not good, and you said something earlier when you're vibrating high, that's when you start attracting the demons. You have to really be in tune. Your light disrupts demons
Right.
within others, but if you're vibrating high and you go and put something in your body that lowers your vibration, you're also opening up that door, and they're going to attack you even worse because they don't want
Hmm.
you to be in your divine power. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like you're like
Yeah.
you're like eating pineapple on a beach to them. At least that's
Exactly.
an amazing thing for me. I love pineapples, so it's one of these things that we just got to be consciously aware of at all times. Like, but when
Yeah.
you said that, it really I really resonated with that because I realized, the more that I become who I am, who I truly am, and not, the avatar versions of me and what I needed to be in order to get to this version, the more that I disrupt the demons and others that have known me and have that hold these memories of who I was back in that time but don't understand why I am who I am now. And I am because of who I was in that time. And when they see you rising, instead of them, realizing that they're a reflection of you, you're a reflection of them, they start to have a defense system towards you. Then they start to project towards you. Then they start to bring up the things that you've done in your past. They do all sorts of things, but these are
Exactly.
all forms of psychic attacks. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? And this is the stuff that we got to just be aware of. So if you hurt people, clear the air. All right. Clear the
Exactly.
air. Even if they don't want to speak to you ever, genuinely say sorry to them. Write a letter to them. Do something. Clear the air. There's no need to hold on to grudges
That's
or
right.
grief because it is a grenade that is going to only blow you up. There, there is no reason to hold on to any of these negative things that are coming from us basically not knowing who we are. They're coming from trauma. A lot of the stuff comes from trauma, our upbringing, what we were taught. And we got to just come to the fact that a lot of our parents were traumatized and they don't have the
Hmm.
information that we have nowadays for us to understand why things are happening or who we are. But we have it and we're the upgraded versions for a reason. That's why we have children because we're the upgraded versions. We can't continue on ignoring the truth and telling ourselves it's right because our parents said it was right all the time, but realize that You know, this always got me in trouble. This always got me in broken relationships. This always made me end friendships. You know, we got to really just get to the point where we just start holding ourselves accountable for what we're doing to ourselves, because that's what it ultimately comes down to.
Exactly.
You know, we got to really do this. Honestly, I suggest that we do this. It helps me, you know, and I just feel like we're all the same.
And you're letting go of the toxic energy, because then after that it stays on you. So it's excellent that you're doing that, because you don't need their attachments. Everything is an attachment. So when we feel in fear, it's like putting on a jacket. Fear, we'll put a jacket of fear, we'll put a jacket of depression, we'll put a jacket of whatever. And once you start layering it off is when you become your true essence, your true being. And who is that? Who is your true being? Your true being is joy, happiness, love, all the up high vibrations. When you remove all that jacket and all those attachments,
You know,
that's
get those
when you
butterflies
become
out.
your essence.
You know, smiling, smile. I'm telling
That's
you,
right.
smiling when you're feeling down, just smile and just stay smiling for like 5 minutes. You may think you're crazy, but you know what? I'm telling you, you're gonna come across a person like me who I love people who smile. Like I
Yes.
just instantly love it. I'm gonna have a conversation with you. I'm gonna ask you how your mom's doing, how your day was, because you're opening up that door for me to just share this energy that's powerful. You know, it's very
Yes.
powerful when we connect to these. So there's so many ways to counteract it. When you're feeling like you're being attacked, smile, jump up and down, tell yourself you love yourself. You know, call that person that always has that high energy, that's always positive. Call that person and get away from the people who are bringing you back down to that level where you're susceptible to these attacks. And again,
Exactly.
also understand and understand that everything is a reflection of you and your understanding of your power. Psychic
Exactly.
attacks are they're only powerful when we don't understand who's the one in power and who's the one in control. It's you,
That's
always.
right. You said it. Life is like Nintendo. The higher you go, the harder the levels, the more the snakes come out. So you got to keep fighting them out, shoo, shoo, and keep vibrating high. And then you go right through them. Then you win the Super Mario game.
That's it. I'm
That's
a
it.
winner. There's internal battles, man. That's internal battles. That is the greatest form of success, when we can win these things and we can understand them and we can sift through the mud and become the lotus flower. The lotus flower doesn't stay in the mud. You're just a
That's right.
seed still there. You got to get through the mud. And once you get out the mud, you don't want to go back in it. Nope. You want to stand tall right above it. Be beautiful.
That's right. Once you taste the spiritual taste, that's it. You never go back down, because you
Yep.
nothing can buy this true happiness. Like the inner bliss of spirituality, you can buy 100 Gucci or whatever Louis Vuitton. That's a temporary happiness. The spiritual joy is you're happy for no reason. It's an upliftment of your whole soul, and you're so happy for no reason. I've had that happen to me. I feel like I won the lottery. Like this real joy in my heart, and that's the best feeling of all. Nobody can buy that.
No, they can't. That's
It's
why I wore.
temporary
That's
if
why I
they
wore
do
my
very
my,
little.
my butterfly jacket. You know, it's a transformation. What does the butterfly do when it comes out of the cocoon? It just flies. It just flies. Thank you, Allison, for getting me this. It's just the greatest gift that I ever got. You know. But
Yes, and thank
but
you, Cindy. She says Nintendo. It's true. Life is a Nintendo. Whenever you go to the next level, it gets harder, more challenging. But you could do it. Shoot for the stars.
oh, I remember playing that game for hours until I beat it. And that's why we got to do it ourselves. We got to put hours into ourselves. We could do it and put it into a video game, and we could put it into our phones, and we could put it into ourselves. End of
Exactly.
story. No excuses. None.
Exactly. No excuses. The more you work on yourself, you think really people care how you feel? They once you have to, there's very few that are really good friends and they do care about you, but most of the time they're into their own thing. And what matters is you working on you, because you're gonna go through, your own stress. You want your health to be clear. So working on that, releasing what does not serve your highest good, letting go of all that baggage. You don't need attachments. All this negativity is just weighing you down. It's like putting a bunch of mud on a pigeon and you expect it to fly. No, you just dust yourself up, and you're doing excellent, Kendell, removing that,
Thank you.
and you're shining up like a star, like
Thank
you
you.
are.
Thank you.
I'm
I
happy for you because you go through a
I'm
lot of
humble.
stuff, which we won't say, but look at you. You're always glowing. You're always working on yourself. And that takes a big person to do all that. Some
I
people just
appreciate
stick
it.
on it and they're like, but look at you. You working on yourself. You're glowing. Everyone loves to see you right on Healings on the Go.
I love all of you, and every time I come here, you guys help me recognize how much work I actually do put in myself. And you know how it is as a beacon of light. You're attacked from
Yes,
many angles, and I just, I have to start priding myself more, in a divine way on how much I don't let the things that are designed to teach me how to grow destroy me. And it's
exactly.
a very hard thing
Yes,
to
it is.
manage, but I think through us growing and persevering and sharing, this is where we're doing our job. This is where we're actually doing what God created us to share
Exactly.
information from a heightened divine perspective. That's the only thing we're supposed to do. None of this stuff matters. Our cars, our money, none of that stuff matters if we're not sharing ancestral knowledge with each other. If we're not, sharing the fruits of our labor through our internal struggles. We're not doing our job, because the only thing that we can take with us and we can leave here is love. That's it. Then that's the
Yeah.
portal that we want to keep. This is the reason why I'm able to connect with my ancestors and my mother and my grandma and all of my friends and their parents that pass away. I'm connected to all of them, whether they know that or not, because of the love that I have in me and the love that they put in me. And that's our portal, and this is
Yes.
the power that we have. So thank you guys for always, accepting me here. I appreciate you. I
And
appreciate the love.
too bad you can't read it. Anne is so sweet. She said, it's always a pleasure seeing you, Kendell. You're so uplifting. Ah, that's so
Thank
sweet.
you, Ann.
He is
Thank you,
very
Ann.
uplifting.
And your family. Love is what connects me. I don't care where you're from. I don't care what your background is. I just care about the love in your heart. I had to grow up rough. I had to grow up, in group homes and foster homes. And I had to learn early to make the world my family. And that's not to knock my mom, because when I got taken from my mom, I knew how to cook, clean, take care of myself, take care of babies, go food shopping. I knew how to fight.
Wow.
I knew how to respect my elders. My mom got me up to that point where she couldn't teach me anymore. And I used to think that, it was cursed, but no, I was blessed, because I was always in homes changing the minds and perspectives. I was in Irish homes, Italian homes, Portuguese homes, and people who never even knew a black person before they only knew what this world taught them about me. And God put me there to change them with love, and they can change me. I was giving them love and I was giving them, information that they never had. They giving me information that I never had, and it was a equal exchange. So now it's just opening season. Now it's just me being who I am. And this, when I say I love you, I truly do mean that I love you,
Mm.
because it's not a word to me. It's an entire state of being. I love me, so I love you. And we all have to get to this point where we remember what love is. It's what it was when we were kids. It really is. You got to think about the
Exactly.
constrictions that we have and the restrictions that we've had put on our minds. It came from our parents and it came from this world.
Exactly.
But if they didn't put them there, what would we be doing? We'd be loving each other and sharing information and sharing our cookies. You know what I mean?
Exactly. We're going to take one more commercial break and we're going to come right back and talk about protection, how to protect yourself. Stay tuned, everybody. We'll be right back right after these messages. Hi, I am Linda Davitas. I am a psychic, clairvoyant medium, and certified healer. I have also written a book, My Journey from Darkness to the Light, which is available on Amazon, Barnes & Nobles, and on my website, www.healingsonthego.com. If you would like to book an appointment with me, call me at 917-929-4935. Thank you. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back with my special guest, Kendell Bell. Yay! We're going to be talking about protection. How do you protect yourself through even energy waves and psychic attacks? One good way is shielding yourself using intention. Shield yourself by meditation, St. Michael. You can always call me for a candle manifestation channeling. I do Reiki long distance. I do them in person. I have a whole list of services. You can go to healingsOnTheGo and find me there, healingsonthego.com. You can cleanse your aura, which is very important. I find it very effective, some meditations. I know some people don't like meditations. They don't like sitting there for 10 minutes, but there's also shorter ones. They're guided meditations, 5 minutes only. You could keep crystals on you. The best crystals for protection are black tourmaline, black obsidian, and black onyx. Why? Because black is very protective and it sucks up all the negative energy. I do not recommend you hold this crystal every single day because after a while, black is there only to suck up that energy. But then you want to turn it to like yellow stones, yellow obsidian or lemon quartz. So when you feel negative, it's good to hold the black ones and then the next day switch it to replacing the energy. Raising your vibration, like Kendell said, be excited.
That's it.
Meditate, tell them your tricks, Kendell.
I like to surround myself with light. I like to surround myself mentally. I do shower meditations a lot. I surround myself. When I'm doing shower meditations, I clear all of the negative energies within me and I envision it going down the drain, coming through my body, going down the drain. And once I'm done with that, I then surround myself with white light. Then I also surround that white light with golden light. And then I also surround that with purple flame. And really, when I leave my showers, I feel refreshed and I feel protected. But the shower is the most important time for me to do that. When I'm out in public, no matter what it is that I'm doing when I'm out in public, every time I get out of my vehicle, I speak my power into existence. I am in control of my power. I do not allow anybody to infect my power. Wherever I go, I don't allow other people's energies to manipulate me. I uplift every environment that I walk in and I speak these things outward. So that's when I exert when I walk into any room. And that's very important for me. I have my crystals. Tiger's Eye is a good one for me. It keeps me confident. It keeps me in tune with my power. Black tourmaline, obsidian. I love that. And I also keep quartz on me. So something about quartz, and then I keep selenite in my bedroom and my
I
car.
love selenite.
So these are all things. It's like it's a proportion of things, but they all help. They all help keep me protected. But the most important thing is the power of my mind. And, I feel that we all should know how powerful and beautiful our minds are. And we literally, everything that you see around you is created from somebody's mind. And if that's possible, then it's endless what we can do. We can at least protect ourselves when we walk into different rooms. If somebody can manifest building a skyscraper, So
Exactly. And you're right. Our words are our wand. So positive affirmations, the more you say them, even though they're like, well, I don't feel it at the moment, but the words are utterances and they create your reality. So you see how you feel by just saying certain words. So even saying, I feel happy, those are all going upwards. You see, feeling into the words that you're using is a real good one.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. You got to practice that. You got to practice all of these words. And sometimes even a swear word's good.
If you got to let it out, let it out.
Let it out. You know what I mean? For me, it's the F word. Some guy got to say it, but I got to say it with good intentions, So
don't say it now.
No, I'm not going to say it now. Got the kids watch. You got to focus on the kids. But yes, kidding. Just don't use it in an ill way towards another person because you hurt yourself. What you do to another person, it affects you more than it ever will on that person. Trust me. I've said this so many times, but even if I miss an opportunity to open the door for a person, thank you, Grandma, for teaching me that. But I feel bad about it. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's just about being, holding yourself accountable for who you are and holding yourself in a high level of integrity. That's what it comes down to. And understanding, though, just because you're kind, just because you're a good person, that doesn't mean you're not going to be attacked. That means you're going to be attacked more. That means when you
Yes,
walk into a room, because you have this natural light inside of you that you radiate, you are going to bother people who don't realize that you're just showing them what they're suppressing. So don't take
that's
it
true.
personal. Do not take it personal at all, because you don't win when you do that. You win when you look at them as a reflection of yourself, and know that you once were them, and you're literally dealing with an outdated version of who you used to be. That's all it is. I feel like a lot in the spiritual community, people, they get a little bit of enlightenment, they get a little bit of knowledge, and then they start to think that they're better than others. And we
No
can't do that.
way.
We can't
No
do
way.
that ever, ever, because once
You'll be
the law,
stripped from your gifts. That's what I've seen many times. People
yes,
that think they're all that end up getting no gifts at all. God's like, what? No ego in this. Take it right away.
take it right away. Take it right away, and we get stripped of our powers. And I've dibbled and dabbled with this. Again, I speak from experience, so it's why, like, no matter what, whenever I catch myself going off to the right, I get right back in line with the middle, because the moment I start staring off, I'm already crashing into something, or I'm getting hit in the head, or I'm losing money, or something's happening
Wow.
to me. And it's instant right now.
Wow.
It's not even a matter of waiting for the karma. The laws of karma state, what you put out, you get back. The moment that you think that you're above somebody, you literally automatically put yourself below them without them doing anything.
That's right. That's right. All ego based doesn't work. And also, I like what you said about colors. I love the colors you pick because gold is my favorite, white, gold. And I do that too. For people that don't know, is when you're taking a shower, just visualize the light over you. It is so cleansing. And if you want to add a little Epsom salt, that's what I do. I
Yes.
ask God to remove anything that I may have absorbed. So that with the colors is awesome. That's a good one.
Mhm. Yeah. And another thing for me too that I'm realizing more than ever is putting my phone down. Our phones, they do something to us where we're taking on all this radiation and all of this poison, and it affects us. So put your phones down sometimes. I gotta tell
Yeah.
myself this all the time. I get yelled at. Put my phone down. It's hard when you're trying to build yourself up and run a business through your phone. You got to keep it on you, but again, put it down sometimes. Go for a walk, and unplug, go in nature, and
Yes.
sift through the mud.
And ground, ground, ground. It's very important, the root chakra grounding, because when we get rattled, we unground ourselves. And the root chakra is connected to our finances, our wealth. If that is clogged up, then you're not grounded, first of all, and your flow is not going well either. So root chakra is so important. It's the base, all the way at the base of your spine, and it's the red one. But
Mm.
they're all very important because one chakra connects to the other one, the heart with the heart and this and that. So that'll be another show, but
We can go on for
it
days with this one, huh?
exactly the chakra points. That's another good thing to talk about in another show that we will plan together because
Okay.
we need to let people know that all physical illnesses are stemming from a blockage in the body.
Mm-hmm.
And we're all human to go through sadness, but don't stick on it. Life is
Yeah.
too short. Try to uplift. I know it's hard, but little by little you can do it. And ask for help. If you need help, we're here to assist you. God gave us certain gifts. We're all gifted in different ways, and we're here to help you. We go through our own stuff and we heal ourselves too. So we are all going through sometimes energetic waves or our own stuff, but the main thing is we're not sticking on it. We're continually keeping our light and expanding it and trying to beam others with the same grace and positivity. And we know it's not hard because I mean, not hard, it is hard because we go through a lot of challenges too. Being very sensitive people will know how fast it is, how fast the year ends. She said it goes by fast. I just looked at what she wrote.
Mm. And time's the
But
biggest illusion. It's only as
yeah,
fast or slow as we make it out to be.
yeah, time went fast. My show she's talking about that went really quick. I know it really did.
It's 8 feet. Whoa, it did. Oh, this is a good one. That's what that means, huh? We all got lost in the abyss.
But we have like 6 more minutes.
Hey, listen,
But
this is a really great show. And thank you for having me on here. It was really good to talk about
my
these things.
pleasure.
I hope that we
My
can
pleasure.
get back going soon and
We
talk. But
will.
to my tribe, a little message for you guys, man. You guys gotta start surrounding yourself with people that feel like sunshine when you talk to them. The people that want to hear about your dreams, the people that want to hear about, your past, but not in a sense where they're going to look at you as a victim, where they're going to find strength in all these things that you thought were weaknesses. It's time for us to literally get ourselves out of the mud and become the lotus flower, become the butterfly, get out of the cocoon and just fly. The butterfly never goes back in the cocoon. It flies to different places that are all foreign to who they are. And that's just who we are.
That's right. And they say don't condemn your darkness. Don't scream at it and say, why did I go through that? Because every darkness brings you somewhere, and it's bringing you somewhere good. I say it in my
Exactly.
book all the time. It's bringing you somewhere, and through that experience is where you're going.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is connected one to the other. So some people are like, well, I'm a bad person because of my parents. Don't blame your parents. Don't take that and just stick on it. Try to learn from it. You know what
Yes.
I mean? You
Yes. You're the
can't
upgrade.
blame them. You can't change anything anyway.
No, you change yourself. You understand that they're the beta version and you are the upgrade. And you need the beta
Exactly.
version so you can better understand the kinks that you need to work out in your own programming. And then you adapt that to yourself. And then you share that with your children and all of the other entities that you come across. That's why we were all created. We weren't created to still remain the beta version. If we can upgrade our phones, we can upgrade ourselves always.
Mhm. Exactly. And that's why we go through challenges because we're learning, experiencing, and then move on. Don't hold back 10 years ago where you hated somebody. That'll only cause sickness in your body. And that's the number one thing I've seen in cancer. When you hold a lot of bitter and anger, I know that everyone has a very hard time, but cut the emotion linked to it. And I know it's not easy. Some people have gone through a lot of bad stuff, and I totally understand. But holding on to it, who is it going to affect? The person that hurt you or you? It's affecting you. So doing all these cleansings, these protections and healings, all will benefit you. You don't want to get sick over whoever hurt you. It's going to hurt you, not them. They don't care. They probably moved on and went to the other chapter of their life. So coming to peace with it. And even if you can't forgive them, forgive yourself, love yourself, and try to make peace in any way it feels suitable to you.
Yes.
Certain things is
Yes.
hard to, you don't have to go talk to them. Just release the anger attached to it. See, there's a trick to it.
Yes. Yes, because whatever you hold on to, you become. This is
That's right.
very true. So let it go, forgive, make peace, and sprinkle a little bit of love on it. Love heals everything. Promise you.
That's right. And make yourself happy because at the end of it all, it's your life. And unfortunately, we're all temporary here. We're just visitors and we're experiencing life. Life is a gift. Don't hold back on in 100 years from now, trust me, it will not matter.
Won't. And everybody loves a story of perseverance. That's the reason why we get chills when we watch these movies. It's
That's
because
right.
that's who we are. That's our personal power. So don't be ashamed to change and share your story. Because there's people like us out here who want to hear this because this is what connects us. Pain is what connects us. Perseverance is what connects us. Struggle, all of these things connect us. At least it's with me. When I meet people, I want to know about your pain so I can better understand your light. That's who I am. And there's millions of us out here. So, happy healing to all. Protect yourselves at all costs. Remain beautiful no matter what this world's trying to destroy you or put you in a box. Don't let it ever. Always make sure you understand that you are the only box that you can put yourself in.
And you don't have to suffer alone. Reach out to somebody. And if you don't have to suffer by yourself. You can message people. You can come on to Facebook. Me and Kendell are on.
I'm
We have
always
a
here,
lot
Rare
of
Breed
inspiring
Universe.
posts.
Yes, you can catch me on Rare Breed Universe. Kendell Bell. Um, I'm here. I'm here for you guys. And if you didn't know, now you know.
And with me, I'm on Linda Davitas. I'm on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and healingsonthego.com is where I usually am lurking around.
Make sure you look at her. Check out Linda because she does some really good energy clearings and
Thank
some
you.
candle healings. Check out her services. They really do work. And her candle
Thank
healings, they
you.
come with a powerful message that always
Mhm.
teach you something better about what you didn't understand before.
Thank you. Thank God I'm very blessed. I have 45 five-star reviews on Google Maps, which makes me really happy because the channeling is just spirit talking through me. And they're always
Yeah.
very positive. And I never had a complaint. Thank God, knock on wood. The candles will help guide you. They will help speak through you, whatever you're trying to manifest, or the healings, they're going to give you advice. And they always leave me feeling so happy. Kendell, you've done a couple. How have you
I
felt?
have. I have. You know, my mom's come through strong and they always have helped me stay on my path. So thank you.
Thank you.
I always speak from experience, guys. You know me. It's just what I
Thank you
do, but I
so much.
highly recommend it.
Thank you. And thank you, Anne and Cindy. We have like one more minute if you want to share any last words. Thank you, Cindy.
Um, I just want to say I'm grateful for all of you, Cindy, Ann, Alice, and all of you guys who have tuned
And
in.
Anne, yeah,
I appreciate you, and I love you guys, and I hope to see you guys soon. All of you. Thank you for
yeah.
having me.
You guys are the best. And I thank you so much for tuning in. Feel free to like and share our messages because we do want to help people help themselves and be aware of things that happen to everybody. Sometimes you think it's just you, but it's reasons why things are happening. And to make your aura strong because nowadays, everyone's scared with the flu and stuff, flu and whatever, all the viruses. Keeping your energy powerful and strong will help. And where's some pyrite? Pyrite is very good in sealing the aura.
Yes, it is, and understand that disease it cannot survive in an alkaline body and a healthy mind.
That's
There's
right.
a formula to it. If you don't know what that means, look it up or come and ask us.
Yes. It's not going to last long. When you feel happy, I told you in another show, I laughed my way to wellness in like a day. I was totally better and I was really bad. I had my stomach, my head. I couldn't even take medicine because I was pregnant. And so I go, what am I going to do? Cry all day? Because I felt like throwing myself off a bridge. Or am I
No,
going to laugh? I'm joking. I
that's
wasn't
it.
going to do that. I'm just joking.
That's
Like,
it.
I
It was
felt
figuratively
so
speaking.
bad. Like, I felt like, oh gosh, too overwhelmed. So I'm like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to watch YouTube and watch all funny shows. And I was actually watching Laughing Yogi, which he cracks me up. And I swear, next day, 98% of my cold was gone. I couldn't believe it. I was so happy. I was
Yeah,
totally better in one day. Yay. And no Tylenol, no nothing.
that's
So I'm like, I'm
that,
not going to sit there and be miserable. I'm going to laugh and laugh, and it helped. There's
yeah.
actually a book out there, and it says how this lady was stage 4 cancer, and she left her way in a month or two. She was totally cancer free.
Oh, I heard about that story.
Yes,
And
yes, yes,
and also another, good tip is to use vibrations, 528, the frequency of love. It always heals. If you don't know
yes.
what that is, look it up on YouTube and just play it in your house. You can leave your house and play it in your house. And when you come back, it's clearing the energy in your home. That's how powerful the frequency is.
Okay, I'm going to sign off, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in, and thank you, Kendell Bell. You're the
Thank you for having
best.
me.
Thank you for
I
coming
appreciate you
on.
guys.
God
Love you
bless
guys.
each
So
and every
beautiful.
one of you, and be safe. Stay happy.